Imagine waking up and rushing straight into your office without brushing your teeth, without wearing the right clothes, and just walking in there. If that was not strange enough, then let's imagine another scenario that you walk straight into a street, start chatting up with random strangers, and that too when you haven't brushed your teeth nor fixed your hair. How does that feel? Overwhelming, right? That is how your brain feels. So the first thing that you do in the morning is just reach out for your phone. If you are not ready to face the world when you've just woken up, why do you think that it is any different for your brain? Hello, everyone. Welcome to A Lot Like Life, and I'm Ridla. And today we are going to talk about how to stay focused in a world that is full of simulation. About 80% of people reach out for their phone in the first 15 minutes of waking up. That might make you feel that you're not alone, but just because we're not alone, that doesn't mean that it is healthy. The first 15 minutes of your morning are very crucial for your entire day. And when you bombard it with so much simulation and so much information, you're setting yourself up for a day full of brain fog, short attention spans, and hypersimulation. So, what's the harm in aimless scrolling all the time? You're getting a lot of new information, right? The problem is that apart from losing time and losing productivity, we're also losing our ability to think. Your brain needs time to process everything that it has learned. You just keep feeding it with more and more information. And that can lead to the loss of ability to think for ourselves. Because this thing in your hand is doing all the thinking. By now we know how algorithm works, how Google and Facebook know us more than we do. Because your very subconscious behavior is being tapped into. So nowadays, we already are working on screens all the time. Most of the jobs are being done through screens. So saying that we should be avoiding screen time altogether would be far fetched. But what can we do? First thing is to identify this subconscious behavior. Do you really need that much information? Are you doing something about all the information that you've gained over the time? A lot of times, getting a lot of information through social media is also a guilty pleasure. You can keep telling ourselves that when I scroll next, I'm going to learn something new. And it has gone back to the point that we waste time just because we can. But where do you think that this time is coming from? You must have your own aspirations, your own goals. Every time you're going there and aimlessly looking at somebody else's profile or the information that you don't need, you're taking time away from your own aspirations and your own goals. And nowadays, if you would see, if you worked hard for 20 minutes, you would immediately go back to your phone and start scrolling because it gives you that dopamine rush that is quick and easily fixes your mood. But you all know that it doesn't last long and we keep craving for it. And that is not enough. We also feel guilty when we have scrolled aimlessly for an hour. So, what can you do if you find yourself struggling with screen time? First thing would be avoid your phone during the first 15 minutes of your day. I cannot stress enough on the importance of this. Avoid using your phone as the first activity in the morning. Your brain is already just freshening up. It has a lot of potential for the entire day. Don't ruin it by checking your phone as the first thing. Don't give yourself all those triggers and simulations as the first thing in the morning. Second thing would be to have a dedicated screen time. So it can be different for everyone. For some people, 5 hours is okay. For others, 1 hour is too much. So it would really depend on you as a person. What do you want your day to look like? What do you want your screen time to look like? Make sure that you decide that. And once you know that this is the screen time that I'm aiming for every day, it will help you start tracking it. Nowadays, we have apps on our phones. It is not going to fix everything immediately, but once you start tracking it, you would at least learn to control your own behavior. And if you're scrolling for some time, do it intentionally so that you don't feel like you've done something bad or you have wasted your time after that activity is done. Next is to be very intentional about the content that you want to see. Anything that triggers you does not belong on your feed. You don't need to see it every time. So make sure that whenever you see something that does not resonate with you, then there's a little hack in every app nowadays that you just click on not interested, and gradually algorithm will stop suggesting those things to you. And same goes for the people. If you feel that there are some people who just trigger you unconsciously, or you find yourself comparing your life to theirs, then it's time for you to mute them and move on with your life. And along with it, stop watching sensationalized content. That is why you need to be very intentional on what you want to see. A lot of times you will see that whenever something is sensationalized and hype, there's a lot of clutter that comes with it. There's a lot of misinformation. So make sure whenever you're curious about a topic, then go to informed sources. Do not blindly believe on the things that you see on Reels or TikTok. Whenever you're concerned about a topic, try to intentionally learn more about it. There are very reliable sources out there. The next is to take up the activities which provide you lower level of stimulation. If you remember before the scrolling culture came in, we used to be overwhelmed just by scrolling a little and we were a little apprehensive of what is happening. There's a lot of sound, a lot of music mixing up, a lot of visuals mixing up. That was the case when we first started using it. But now we can't stop because we are used to that level of simulation. Imagine listening to three different songs at one time, people meeting each other, and everybody's on the phone with some other content. So imagine the level of simulation and how on the edge we are. And now VR glasses in the market. So I don't think it is going to get any easier. But what you can do is let your brain breathe a little. Instead of finding satisfaction in scrolling or social media, try to take up reading. Try to go for physical exercises because you will get the same level of rush, but it will be more steady and permanent, and you will not feel overwhelmed. Personally, for me, reading worked better than anything else because I could easily differentiate between the rush that I was getting through scrolling. I felt better mentally when I was reading rather than spending time on my phone. Overuse of screen time or overuse of these triggers that you have to get everything done at the same time. Everything is on your phone and you're reminded every minute of the day of all the things that you have to do. If you let your phone run your lives, if you're always on your email, always on your social media, always something or the other that you're looking for, if you can't sit still and talk to your partners or your friends or your family, you know there's a problem. You know there is a problem when in the middle of a conversation, you have to take your phone out and start scrolling just because you cannot bear the boredom. Best thing would be to acknowledge it, to be intentional about fixing it. If any of these steps work for you, do let me know. And if you have tried anything that has worked for you in lowering your screen time or lowering this overstimulation, please let us know in the comment section below. So I'll be back with another video soon. Thanks for watching, and thanks to all the subscribers so far. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being on this journey. I'll see you again. Bye.